We'll talk about going out on a high note. It was an unbelievable Saturday to close out the regular season here at Gibbs Stadium. And welcome to Inside Wofford Football with head coach Sean Watson. I'm Jim Noble. Our show, as always, brought to you by Budweiser of Spartanburg and Yokohama. So we had hopes. We knew a really good Furman team was coming in here, maybe with one eye on this game, one eye on the playoffs. But you told us last week, Coach, about rivalry games and everything that can happen. And the Wofford players, specifically the Wofford seniors, came out and played like it might have been their final game, and it was incredible to watch. A 19-13 win over arch rival Furman. I know you said it after the game, but it bears repeating. How proud you are of this team. You said we called it, and you did.
Well, we had felt like we were improving every week. We've been through a lot, and of adversity through injuries, and we've had to find our way to and through a lot of, a tough season. And here's what never happened: the kids never quit. The kids always believed. The coaches believed in the players, and we kept, pouring into them. And there's just a great chemistry on our football team. They know they're loved and cared about, and we were not going to give up, because they love Wofford College, they love Wofford football, and they're proud to be a part of Wofford. So it was awesome to see it come about in a win, and the way we won.
Well, when we come back, we'll talk about closing the season out with wins over your two biggest rivals, the Citadel and Furman. We'll also talk about the D, the new QB, and what's next for the Terriers. It's all coming up next here on Inside Wofford Football. And welcome back. So Furman rolls in here to Spartanburg 9-1. They've already clinched the SoCon, looking for a perfect season. For Wofford, a little curveball. Amari Odom gets the start at quarterback. He had been not cleared medically for most of the season. Tell me what led to the decision to put the freshman out there.
Well, number one, we wanted to see both of our freshmen, compete against each other, because, as you just mentioned, Amari's been down because of a medical situation. Once he was cleared and given a clean bill of health, he immediately began to impact our team, in terms of his production in practice, and got better and better each week, and we really started feeling his arm talent. Long story short, he and Paulie, we just pulled them together and wanted to let the best man, win, and it's going to be that way in spring ball. So it's not like that this is a decision made forever, because we have two really good young players. Amari had a slight edge, and gave us a chance to see what he had, and put him in a game situation. He had not played a football game in 2 years.
Right.
So it was interesting. I woke up at 4:30 in the morning and go, But long story short, we knew he was ready too, and I can't say enough about the job Paulie did on the sideline with him. He was the quarterback whisperer, really helped him and helped me.
Well, as we get into the highlights, you could definitely tell that Amari hadn't played for a while. You saw the flashes of talent, but there were some turnovers. In fact, 3 turnovers by Wofford in the first quarter and a half. And that leads us to the other big story, the defense. Furman gets a couple of short fields. Your defense from the opening snap, Coach, came to play. You hold them to a total of 6 points off of those 3 turnovers in the first half. We've known the defense has been peaking. We've known the defense is good. But did you have any idea they could play like that against a pretty good offense?
No, I knew they could. I've never doubted those guys at all, because I think we have great chemistry on that side of the ball in terms of the staff. Both Andrew and Jonathan have done an incredible job of bringing together a package that was a vision for me and for, they basically, Jonathan has some experience in it, and Andrew also, but, they put it all together, and they did a great job as a full staff. I mean, it was a tremendous job by the players of executing the scheme, too.
So we'll pick this up 6-3 in the second quarter. You're faced with a 4th and 1. Furman stacks the line. Ryan Ingram gets the handoff, and this is what it looked and sounded like.
Season, and they'll go for it out of the shotgun. And the handoff to Ingram, and he's got it, and then some in the clear. The line of scrimmage, Furman playing everybody up, expecting the run, loading the box. As soon as Ingram bounced to the outside, there was no one there, only green grass ahead, and with his speed, takes it to the house. What a play and decision by Sean Watson, electing to go for it, and it pays off.
A 53-yard touchdown. Wofford is up big. And first of all, the confidence to go for it on 4th and 1. You make that call. And second of all, the blocking at the point of attack. Once he got through the line, pay dirt.
Right. Well, we've gotten better each and every week, rushing the football. In the last 2 weeks in particular, and the guys up front, I told them, if given those situations and we're in, what we call our 4-down area, we're going for it. And told them the play we're going to run, and they executed it. And there was really no option. We didn't even hesitate to make that call, and because we really were dreaming to have that opportunity. Now, I didn't know it was going to end up being a 50-yard touchdown run, but we knew that we could stay on the field.
Yeah, and this is a good time to kind of point out the 4 seniors on the offensive line, the starters, and in no particular order, Briggs Curse, Anthony Garcia, Jason Swan, and Tavian Gass. I mean, it's senior day. It's huge for those guys. For them to come out and do that had to have been special.
Yeah, it was good. Those guys have had to work through a lot of adversity. Most adversity we've had have been really 2 spots, offensive line and quarterback, because of injuries and, just melting together, our line early in the season. As they had time to work together, basically I told our staff, in Friday's meeting, they've been together, as far as starters, really 5 weeks, and that's spring ball. And then you got training camp. So we were just now really hitting our strides, and those guys were really starting to take off. So it was really good for those guys to have, done had that opportunity the last 2 weeks. And then, that big run was, really special. And they did a great job of blocking for us.
All right, 10-6 Terriers at halftime. When we come back, the second half, you knew it was going to get crazy, and it did. We'll be back right after this.
Black and gold. Bold. A victory story about to be told. Grit, toughness, and tenacity. A hub of hard work in Hub City. We're on these wins like dogs on a bone. In the zone. Our place, in your face, won't leave you alone. Strength, speed, fire, true. I'm sorry, do these things trouble you? We're Wofford College. We fly the W. Ingalls, proud partner of the Wofford Terriers.
And welcome back to Inside Wofford Football. I'm Jim Noble with Coach Sean Watson, and we go into the second half of the Wofford-Furman season finale. Terriers up 10-6, and then they start to hit a few things in the third quarter. They run it down into the red zone, and then they're faced with a 4th and 1. They go for it. It looks like it's going to be either a quarterback sneak. They put a big defensive lineman in the backfield, and your defense steps up. Maximus Pulley with a scoop and score. How did you see that one shake out? And did it unfold the way anybody thought it would?
No, what happened was the quarterback, it was a power play, and there's a puller, and the puller hit the ball, and coming out from underneath the center just didn't get the ball seated. And, Max was right there to take advantage. We had a lot of penetration, which caused it. So the guys up front, particularly inside, did a great job of penetrating the gaps and creating the confusion that created the, turnover. And then Max was right there to pick it up. But Lear always do, final thoughts, what do you have to do on defense on our Thursday meeting as a staff? And Lear said, score. Take one of the turnovers and score. Well, we did it. I mean, it's easy stuff. You should have said it a couple of weeks ago. So we actually challenged the guys with it, and it happened.
Let's take another look and listen to Maximus Pulley's scoop and score.
Furman's going to go for it on 4th down and 1, inside the 35. Jones looked like he had a hard time handling the snap. It's fumbled and picked up. Pulley, room on the sideline. Jones chasing Maximus Pulley with a Maximus play. A scoop and score. First turnover forced by the Terriers defense today. Just unbelievable here on 4th down. Furman goes for it. just couldn't handle the ball. And Pulley, who's been so good throughout this game, right in the perfect position and recognizes, hey.
So it's 16-6. You're not comfortable yet because you know Furman's going to get the ball back. They do. And then a hero that I'd love to see come up on senior day, John Boyles, the senior linebacker from Traverse City, Michigan, had not been able to play all year. Been fighting injuries, finally got back. He tips a ball, interception by David Powers, and you squash another drive. And to see Boyles do that with everything he's been faced with must have been fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome because John's, one of my personal all-time favorites, and not only as a player, but more importantly as a person. We had a special relationship a year ago, and I really have missed him. And it was awesome to see him back out there because he's had to fight through a really tough hip injury, and it couldn't happen to a better person, a more deserving person.
Now down the stretch, we had some nervous moments. Furman did score to make it 19-13. We turn it over again. I think Amari on a sack, you're probably hoping he just eats the ball there, but they're ripping the ball loose. So some nervous moments, and then of course one more defensive stop, really two more at the end of the game. Big play by Nick Morgan, a sack to stop one rally. And then you hold them off. You hold them out. It took a while, right down to the buzzer, but there it was, 19-13. You win the state championship. You beat Citadel and Furman, which is the best way to look at it. We always talked about upward trajectory and making things are moving in the right direction. That's got to be the feeling around this team. You almost hate to see the season end right now.
Well, you do. I think we've gotten better each week, and a lot of that has to do with you're getting guys healthy. And staying healthy. We were able to do that towards the end of the season. We had some continuity on both sides of the ball, but I think the kids are really excited about where we can go from here because when you're building a program, you're turning one around, you got to have validity. You got to have something that says, oh, yeah, we can. And it couldn't happen against, this Furman team is a really good football team. They're number 2 in the country because they deserve to be number 2. They have an experienced, good football team, and to have that kind of confidence boost for your program. Because and the staff's been telling them all the way along, fellas, you can, you belong, we can. And that is going to be big for our future.
Furman held to 188 total yards. Ryan Ingram, his third straight 100-yard rushing game. Furman held to 3 for 15 on third down conversions. I could go on and on. The defense, the big story of this one, but a total team effort by the Terriers. So where do we go from here? We'll tackle that question next.
David just talked about the defense came out early, hitting hard and fast, and continued through the whole game. How do you guys do it?
I just want to say, I just wanted to praise God and everything. Couldn't have done this without him, my parents being there for me. As a team, we just fought hard. It was just another game to us. We knew we had the talent. We had an opportunity to make a big stop on defense towards the end of the game, and we just kept playing through it. Trusted our teammates and trusted the coaches, and we just kept battling it out to the end.
In the last 2 weeks, too, turnovers have been a real big factor. What's been the difference for you guys to get those takeaways?
Honestly, it starts at the beginning of the week. We have to, every single day, we have to go through practicing taking away the ball, and then it shows up on game day. So it starts at the beginning of the week, and then it carries over into the game.
Nothing beats the power of Ford Truck Month, because only one truck can be the best-selling in America for 46 straight years. Ford F-Series. Only one has best-in-class payload, best-in-class horsepower, and when you combine this legendary power with the latest technology, you get the only truck built Ford tough. It's Truck Month. Hurry in today for great selection in stock and ready for delivery. Now get 3.9% financing for 60 months plus up to $2,500 cash back on select F-150 trucks.
It doesn't matter if you're active on the road or in the gym. Your body is your strongest tool. Spartanburg Regional Sports Medicine Institute is here to push you to the next level. With partnerships across Spartanburg County schools, we're here when it happens. We diagnose, treat, and heal at the Sports Medicine Institute to get you back and active, in the gym, in the game, and to the next level. We never quit because you never quit.
And welcome back to Inside Wofford Football, brought to you by Budweiser of Spartanburg and Yokohama. So I like to say what's next because I don't have to answer those questions. This team does, but obviously for you and your staff, it's a grind. It's a long season. You need to decompress. You need to spend some time with your families. You get the Thanksgiving holiday. So what's the next order of business for you and your guys?
Well, Monday, Tuesday, we'll have an end of the season meetings, and that's really, side of the ball, getting, really what's the blink? What's we walking away from? Lessons learned. We'll take, we'll sit down and we'll talk our way to and through all that, talk through our personnel. We'll obviously get recruiting started, and in current day football, it begins with your own roster. We want to do a great job of, getting old. And I think in order to win in today's football, especially in this league, you got to get old. So we need to work hard on recruiting our guys, our 4-year guys that can come back, not to grad transfer, but to come back and be a part of helping us finish what we started. So that'll be the first part. And then obviously new blood, we'll work on bringing, our recruiting to bring new guys in also at the same time.
On paper, the biggest areas of loss look like it might be offensive and defensive line, just because the amount of upperclassmen and seniors that may or may not be leaving on there. Has that been targeted a year in advance? You guys kind of see how classes move through, or is that something you go after hard after high school kids in the off season?
Well, I think, again, I'll go back to current day football. Football's changed. Football is totally different. The portal has made it a different world. And, I think one of the things that we have to do in our model, because we're uniquely different than everybody else, we want to keep our kids here with us. I just, I think it's, I get the whole grad school thing, but at the same time, we're building something special, and this is a special place, and, they're part of the turnaround. So I want to get as many of those guys to sign up and come be with us.
Quarterback, Amari Odom, Paulie Seeley, Samuel Cornett, maybe some others thrown in the mix. That's going to be fun to sort out during spring practice.
It will be, because it's a great room right now. It's very competitive. There's a lot of arm talent in that room, and it's up to me to develop them and get them squared away in our system. And I'm excited about it though, because I think we really got some really good players.
Final question for you: what will be your memory of this edition of the Wofford Terriers? What will stand out about, coming back from adversity and finishing the season with the 2 wins? Or maybe it's something you saw during practice, off the field, that we never even saw. What will be some of your lasting memories of this bunch?
Well, how this team always believed in each other, believed in us, believed in what our purpose is. No one ever flinched. I mean, they kept believing, and that's what you have to do. I think the character of this group of guys, and that's why you want guys back. I mean, we want to keep our kids with us because, we do pour a lot into them. We care about them. It's important, to really pour yourself into those kids, because that's what makes this experience called college so important. It makes it everlasting. It's just, it makes for what becomes a great program. So we want to keep the kids with us, and we want to keep building on what we have. Now, we'll have to bring new blood in terms of guys that we lost, because we got some guys that can't come back because they're done with eligibility. But same time, we're going to pour ourselves into them and try to get as many of those back as we can.
Well, it's fun to be a small part of it. Onward and upward, that trajectory that we keep talking about, so important. And some thanks are in order. Of course, we want to thank our crack staff who put together this show each and every week, talking about Omar Elmar, Megan Fleming, and, of course, Avery Plummer. Thanks to Brent Williamson, our associate AD, for getting all the pieces to work together. And a big thanks to you. You care so much about these kids, and you're so good to us on the media end. And I'm just excited for the future. And you enjoy yourself for the next few weeks, and I'm sure we'll talk real soon.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, and another big thank you to Budweiser of Spartanburg, and Yokohama, and to you. Thanks for watching Inside Wofford Football. For Sean Watson, I'm Jim Noble. We will see you next year.